Hello everyone, welcome back to Trinsimol to Boston Sprinter with me, Vasil and Trey. Now we're going to do the first scenario of this game called Marching In. We have to build an ACS 64 consist and then take the journey east. So let's just begin. This is something new for the Creators Club, but you have to have a Dovetail account for that, otherwise it won't work. Welcome to the Southampton Yard. We will need to create our consist for the day before heading down to Boston South Station, ready to begin passenger operations. Okay, let's get into this locomotive, ACS 64. Of course we'll need some lights because it's 7 AM. During the winter it is still dark. It's good we can use the lamp to see all the controls here until we power up the locomotive, but once we are seated it's not possible anymore. So I have to make a guess here. Somewhere over here where the lights, yeah. Let me just try to turn them on first. Cab light, yeah. This is way much better now. We can see everything here. We have to put it in neutral first for reverser, then to raise the pantograph. Now we need to close the MCB, and now we need to hold HEP for 5 seconds in start position. Now onto the headlights. We need them to be brighter because it's night, and also to activate the ditch lights, as well as brake mode should be in passenger, as this locomotive is used for passenger trains. Now we should put into forward our reverser. This yard features manual junction. Manual junctions will need to be set on foot before departing. The locomotive is slightly moving now because and first of all, don't forget to use the automatic brake to put in full. Now let's see where we are at. So we have to go on foot that long to change this track, which I don't think it's necessary now with a 2D map. And now we can proceed. But the speed is limited to 5 miles per hour. It could take a while to reach a certain track for sure. So now let's see on the map where we are at. It seems like we are at Boston, and this is the South Boston Yard. but it's at night and it's snowing also. We can also operate freight trains, as we can set our own scenarios in this game and see if auto wreck cars or double stack containers can travel through these tracks here, electrified tracks. Now we reached the blue point. Have to go a little bit further in order to stop here in the middle, let's see. Now we have to go back and change one track to pick up these 3 cars here. Of course we need to change the reverser to reverse. It's good that we have light here. Can also open the window and have a look on the right side, but with the immersion controls it's not possible as it was with the classic control scheme. So we are just using the external camera to have a better view at the back of a train. Now I have to couple with these 3 vehicles first, pick up another 4 later. So now we are connected. Release the brakes and go forward. Okay. Have to stop here a little bit further at this dead end track, as we can see, and then there are other dead end tracks as well, and then only one track here. That's interesting to see. But these tracks here are not electrified with the overhead catenary. They are with a third rail, as we can see here. So as you can see here, we cannot travel further than this area, and we can see that there is a pole there signaling the end of the overhead catenary, which is quite unusual to see in many of the Train Simulator games. But okay, now we're here, we need to change a few tracks again. This one to begin with, then this one is set, this one is set too, and this one too, so we might get over here. We're going smoothly and try to connect with the other three cars here, and we will see later if there are any other trains we might need. So this yard is called Southampton Street, after the English city of Southampton. It's also in England, and in the US there are a lot of English names, like this one. New York is the most common name because York is also city in England, and first migrants to migrate to today's city of New York were from there. And then the people decided to give a name of New York, which became then a generally recognized city name in the US, New York, and translated in every language, of course. There are other cars here as well. That's good, we can now connect with them. And then we have a consist of 9 cars. And Southampton Street is also the same thing, from Southampton in England. We can reverse into Boston South Station to begin the service. So now they say reverse. So I don't have to change seats, I can just push the train into Boston Station. like this. So according to all the data, every track should be set correctly now, so that we won't encounter any problem during our journey to Boston station. Of course, there might be other trains traveling, so we must be aware of the signals ahead of us. Very interesting area. You only have 2 tracks which are not electrified, and for the rest they're all electrified here in this area. But that's very common in the US to have a lot of non-electrified tracks, and you must be aware as a driver not to go into a non-electrified track. Let's go have a look at the locomotive. It's good that we can get in Boston now. Look how many tracks there are here, non-electrified, or with a third rail. Yeah. No, they are just normal tracks. It's interesting, this track which does do around here. Good. Now we are approaching Boston South Station. We're just entering without many problems, which is great. As you can see here, every track is electrified here because electrical trains also need to have access to every part of a station, so there are other trains here on this side. So we got here in time without too much trouble. Great. Now, as you can see here, there are electric poles which end the overhead catenary here, which in other games won't be present. But either way, now we can open the doors and allow passenger boarding, and we change also the reverser to forward this time because we don't have to go back. It was the most difficult task to go back from Southampton Street to Boston Station, but it was worth the effort because the locomotive is in front and then the train can leave directly from the station. So now we are in Boston Station. Mainly all the trains are from Amtrak. There aren't trains from Caltrain, only one so far. Now it's good that we can close the doors. Now we can apply power to get going. But we have red, and it is denied to go further, and we need to await signal to be changed. Now let's wait a little bit here to see that there is another train that needs to cross our path first. And now it might enter the station without too much trouble. Now this is the view we get from driver's cab. Our next stop is Boston Back Bay, which is very close to our station here. Okay, now we stopped because it is still red. Oh, it's because this train must cross our path here first. So it changed its track for a while. It could have stayed on the same track, no problem. Here, shouldn't have changed the track. So yeah. Now we will see the train coming here. It seems like this is a Caltrain train, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it is. So this is the horn. Now let's see where the bell is. Ah, right over there. So now we finally can leave a station here, as it is a busy station indeed. Look, another train is here on the track, so there are many empty tracks. Came from here, from Southampton Street, which is right over here. There is a while to go, and we only have a dead end track here. We cannot go further than that. That dead end track is also called a drill track because it allows the trains to reverse and perform switches in a specific yard. I have the impression that this game is more realistic, especially when it comes to curves, to build a lot of poles to hold the overhead catenaries, because in the other game, NEC New York, it wasn't the case, especially at Southampton Yard. So you could see the overhead wires going way far away from the tracks at those sharp curves. But in this game it isn't the case anymore, which is quite great. Very good improvement. So now we arrived here on time, as you can see. Of course we must use the brakes to hold the train, because it will go down a little bit. So this is Boston back station. The other train has already left the station, of course. Now it's getting lighter as the game processes. These are the other tracks. Two of them are with third rail and the other one are just normal tracks. Here outside the Boston Back Bay station. Now we can lock the doors, which is great because we can continue our journey now without any problem. Now our next stop is Route 128, over 10 miles. So we are doing pretty good now, only 7.9 miles left. There are a lot of small tunnels here, so that's why I'm using the driver's cab as a main viewpoint. or main perspective, let's put it that way. We have yellow, so we might be careful with the next signal and adjust our speed in time. I might as well try to bring this train to a stop now, as we have double yellow. I need to be careful a bit, but this locomotive has the best brakes, so I shouldn't be worried too much. Now we have yellow, so we can continue. It's very tricky sometimes. You get to see two yellows and then a green light. Or maybe because we had to change the track. Now the train will try to get on this main track, okay? Now we can increase our speed. We're doing great so far. At some point we'll have to change the track again. We have double yellow here, so now we don't have to change track, which is okay. Only need to continue our journey until we stop at this station here. Great. Can I stop a train on time? That's the question. Apparently yes, before the red signal, but not in the station itself, unfortunately. But let's unlock the doors. Why not? Doesn't matter at this point too much. Good work. Another engineer will continue the westbound journey. Oh, that was quick. I didn't have to worry too much about the stopping point. That's great. So this was the end of the first scenario of this game. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, VA Multilingual Trains. We even received a gold medal for our performance. Thanks everyone for watching, and see you next time with new scenarios. Have a great day.